morning, everybody. Welcome to another one of my top 5 videos. This one for the Sony Open and my top 5 bets. I like doing these. It's a nice other way to sweat, especially if you fade guys like Ryan Palmer and Harris English, who were 1-2 on the board last week. You need some other ways to sweat because you know that likely your DFS lineups are crushed. So we get other ways to sweat it, where last week I had a nice little outright on Colin Morikawa that provided a good sweat. Obviously didn't pay off with Harris English winning, but he did end up being a profitable week for me, betting him on the top 5, 10, and 20 as well. But other than that, it was tough. Robert Streb did not get in the top 20 for me. However, Victor Hovland was in the top 10 after round 1. So all in all, if you did watch it, was mildly successful last week, we're going to try and get it done again this week and maybe even get a winner here. So these 5 bets, what I do, I give one outright, then I give a top 10 or top 5 or top 20 or even a first-round leader if you want to go that way. So we're going to get a sweat right away. Then I give you a top 20 bet, my best top 20 value bet for the week, a top 10 bomb of the week, and then a random prop bet. So here we go. Let's start it right off with Daniel Berger. He's going to be my outright bet. 18-1 this week is the best I saw him using our odds shopper tool. And of course, if you haven't used our odds shopper tool, hit up Awesemo.com. Go across the banner, click the Awesemo Odds Shopper. You're going to go there and see all of what the sportsbooks are offering and all of their odds. A great way to shop for the best ones, so make sure you check that out. Of course, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel here to make sure you're notified when these top 5 videos come live. Okay, my second bet, I talked Daniel Berger outright, 18-1, 38 and 14th here is the course history, but I think he's playing in a little bit better form, 10th and 23rd in his last 2. Plus, there's no top-end talent here, so Daniel Berger actually, as tough as this is for me to say, ends up being one of the best players in the field. And at almost 20-1, it's pretty good odds. Speaking of better players in the field, a guy that can light it up with the putter, it's Brendon Todd. Brendon Todd's going out early tomorrow morning, 7:30 local time. And having come off a pretty good week in Maui where he hit almost 87% of his fairways, his putter was hot. I like him to carry that over into round 1. So if you want to go round 1 leader, sure, it's 50-1. But I think another safe bet, which is what I did with Victor Hovland last week, is a top 10 after round 1. I found this on DraftKings Sportsbook. He's 6-1 here. Course history, 21st after playing at Maui last year. Coming here, came in 21st. That's a pretty good score. Had a miscut in his start before that here at Waialae. But his recent form is great. 13th last week at the TOC and 6th the week before that at Mayakoba. A lot of correlation between Mayakoba and here. So Brendon Todd, 6-1, going out early tomorrow morning on the top 10. Okay, and if you followed my stuff a little bit this week, I talked about Doug Ghim being a good value this week as making 4 straight cuts, with 3 of those 4 in the top 25. So if we're getting 3 of 4 in the top 25, his irons has vastly improved. We don't worry about the miscut here last year. We're just worrying about the recent form. 6-1 on the top 20 for Doug Ghim here this week at the Sony Open. I love those odds. 3 out of the last 4 starts, we've gotten that finish, so why not try for it again, especially at 6-1 odds. Okay, my fourth bet. This one, if you are a patron, I like that word since the Masters just announced that they will have a few patrons this year at their tournament. If you're a patron of the PGA DFS Look Show on Monday, Jeff Ulrich and I talk a lot about young guns and new guys coming into play, and I said to him that what I'm going to do with these young guns is I'm going to bet them top 10s because typically the bookmakers are behind on them, and it's the most vital finish for one of these guys. And why I say that is because obviously if they finish in the top 10 of an open or normal PGA Tour event, they automatically get invited to the next one. Pretty cool. So Takumi Kanaya is the guy we're going to talk about this week. He's the top 10 bet. He's this young star, growing star from Japan, and was ranked the top amateur for almost over a year, as Jeff Ulrich told us on the Monday PGA DFS Look Show. So 14-1 on the top 10. I like it. He's coming in off of a 5th and 1st on the Japanese tour, so good form. And we know how important it is to get the starts on the PGA Tour to try and earn your spot. Plus, he's got guys like Hideki Matsuyama in the field to draw off of. So Takumi Kanaya, I like him this week. 14-1 on the top 10. 22 years old. So certainly has a lot of room to run there, Takumi Kanaya. This week, all right, last bet. Weird one. Last week I had Patrick Reed as the top Georgia Bulldog. Well, guess what? Harris English won. So obviously I didn't win that bet. He was the only one to beat him. He was the one I was most nervous about. But this week I found a bet that I'm really not nervous about at all. And in fact, the only one I'm nervous about is actually not from this continent. He just happens to now change his thing. We'll get into that in a second. But the bet is Sergio Garcia, top European player, almost getting plus 200 on that bet. He hasn't played here in quite some time, but recent form would suggest he's pretty good. Came in 11th at the Tournament Champions last week. Miscut at the Masters, but listen, if you look at his majors since he won at Augusta, they've been terrible. So something going on there with Sergio. But his normal event, we saw him win out at the Sanderson, 11th place at the TOC. So certainly seems like he's in good form. But here's this random one, this random bet. I think it's a good one here. Getting plus 200 in his biggest competition, if you will, is a guy from Slovakia who's actually from South Africa. And of course, I'm talking about Rory Sabatini. Other golfers that are in this, Ben Taylor. I'm not worried about Ben Taylor, that's for sure. I already mentioned Rory Sabatini. Russell Knox, Sepp Straka, and Henrik Norlander are the other ones in this bucket, they say, from European players that they're putting in here. So Sergio Garcia is my bet plus 188. So that is my top 5 bets for the week. This one's a little bit better. I try to keep these at 5 to 7 minutes. We're at 6 minutes here, so quickly. Daniel Berger outright. Brendon Todd, top 10 after round 1. Doug Gim, top 20 for the week. Takumi Kanaya, top 10 for the week. And Sergio Garcia, top European player for the week. So that will do it for my top 5 videos this week. They are all live. I do just about 4 every week. Top 5 fades, top 5 values, top 5 sleepers, top 5 bets. We've got them all for you here at Awesemo.com. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel to get notified when they come live. And if you're looking for more live stuff and it's Wednesday and it's before 8:30 p.m., come join Jazz Raz and I, Ben Raza, for the Live Before Lock show tonight. It's an earlier lock tomorrow, 12 o'clock, so we didn't want to alienate all those people on the West Coast that don't wake up early. So we weren't going to do a Live Before Lock at 11 o'clock tomorrow and make it 8 o'clock for those West Coasters. We want to give them a chance to absorb the content as well. So we'll go back to our 8:30 time slot tonight. So until then, everybody, thanks for joining my top 5 bets for the Sony Open, and we will see you on the other side.